Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. Do the same at the Grizzly Gentlemen. They are both fantastic deals, and they help support the show. What is up, Planeswalkers? Theurgic 6 back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena, continuing our Halloween pseudo-series. Today we have your Nightmare. This is an Avenged Sevenfold song. I bleeped it because I can do what I want on this channel. You and your stupid neighbors. Anyway, this one I will try to play in best of 3. Even though technically the sideboard is like potentially weaker, the deck itself seems relatively round, so I'm going to try it in best of 3. I don't know how it'll go. We're rocking 2 Bloodchief's Thirst because we have other types of removal here, so I figure I don't need to stick to the Bloodchief's Thirst. We've got 2 Tyrant Scorn and 2 Maelstrom Pulse, as well as 2 Elspeth's Nightmare. So all of these do kind of very slightly different things, and that's why we're having kind of a bunch of 2-ofs. The Tyrant Scorn is quite nice because it will be able it's essentially Bloodchief's Thirst, but for 1 more CMC, and then you can choose to bounce a creature. And what is nice is that you can potentially bounce your own creatures. So say you have like a dread presence that you really need to keep around so that you can like deal the last one damage to your opponent or something when you play a swamp. You can save this. If you have a mutate creature, you can bounce both of those to your hands, and you're going to be able to get those mutate triggers back. So it has some flexibility there. Elspeth's Nightmare is quite nice because it essentially has the first part of Bloodchief's Thirst. You get to just kill a small thing, but you also have a nice discard attached to it, and then of course you get to exile your opponent's graveyard, and considering the fact that there are still a decent number of graveyard decks running around, it's nice to have. Maelstrom Pulse, it gets rid of a thing and everything with the same name. Stop it. 3 Devourer of Memories. We don't have a ton of cards that self-mill. This can mill itself, but we do have Discovery as well as Dream Eater. So, it's not going to happen too frequently, but I figure it's also just like a 2-mana Nightmare, and I wanted some more 2-mana Nightmares in the deck, so I have this to round it out. 3 Fiend Artisan. It gets bigger for all of our creatures. Now, we're not running a ton of creatures. We're only rocking 23. But what's really nice is that this allows me to sacrifice one of my creatures, probably this one, in order to just go grab something that I might need. It's unfortunate this is only a sorcery speed, but I guess if it weren't, then non-meme decks that could actually, benefit from this card would likely be too strong. But still, even on our turn, we can go ahead and search for a Dream Eater or something like that. Melee, possibly even get a Leyline Prowler if we really need the Death Touch or Lifelink, although I guess you could just get this. Doesn't really matter. Speaking of this, Grim Dancer is a Nightmare that you can choose it to be Menace, Death Touch, or Lifelink, 2 out of the 3. So, Death Touch plus Lifelink makes it a really nice, annoying attacker. Menace plus Lifelink means that we're technically more likely to stick around, stay alive. And then Menace plus Death Touch essentially is like, haha, I'm going to kill 2 of your creatures if you want this to die. Hunted Nightmare is kind of just like the reverse of this. This has Menace innately, but when it enters, one of your opponent's creatures is going to get a Death Touch counter. If your opponent doesn't have creatures, then this is just a 3-mana 4/5 with Menace, which is pretty decent. 2 Leyline Prowler. We might need to get to these higher CMCs. I'm not entirely sure. We're rocking a 3.4 with only 24 lands, so I'm just not entirely confident that our mana base is sufficient, but Leyline Prowler helps out, and has Death Touch and Lifelink, which is quite nice. Dread Presence. Now, we have a decent amount of swamps. Not a ton of swamps. Does this actually show? It does. So, more than half of our lands are swamps. This gets to drain something, or we get to draw cards, so I figured at more than half of our lands being swamps, I figured this might be fine. Theoretically, we could probably trim these. According to the deck analyzer that I use, this mana base is essentially more than fine, but I want to be careful, at least on the first go-around. Insatiable Hemophage, it has Death Touch, cool, in 4-mana 3/3 with Death Touch, not the best, but it does mutate for 3, which is quite nice, because it means that we can, for example, play this on turn 2, and then this on turn 3, so we have a little bit larger of a creature. That also allows us to drain a little bit. Even if it's just the single one, it's fine. Boneyard Lurker is mutate 4, so it's the same cost. But what is nice is that we could theoretically like make this bigger, right? This is a 3/3. We can mutate onto it to make it bigger and get back one of our permanents. Say our one of these creatures has died already, or we've milled something into our graveyard that we would like to get back, or our Ashiok is gone, right? So it's another thing that you can use. And then you might be wondering, why am I only essentially having 4 mutated nightmares? Couldn't this just be something else? Well, I wanted to make sure I had Brokos in here because it's a nightmare, and I'm playing Sultai. I wanted to have it. And I figure, Brokos can constantly, like, come back. So there's potential to get multiple triggers. Anyway, 2 Ashiok Nightmare. Not only does this card's name have Nightmare on it, it makes nightmares. That exile things from your opponent, and then you get to steal those things, which is fantastic. 1 Dream Eater. Once again, I don't know how to make decks. Nightmares had actually a decent selection, to be honest. But, Flash 4/3 flyer can bounce a thing, surveil some stuff, seems decent. And then Discovery Dispersal, we get a surveil too, and then draw. Hopefully should help us draw really nicely. And then Dispersal, once we get into the late game, it helps us out. This is our mana base. It is relatively simple. And so sideboard, we have 3 Thought Erasures, because I like Thought Erasure. I figure if I'm going against a control or otherwise slow deck, Thought Erasure would be nice. 2 Mystical Disputes against control, 2 Necromentia against control, 3 Plague Mare against like X1 aggros. It's also relatively decent against mono white because you can just keep hitting them, so it mitigates their life gain. 3 Ashiok Dream Renders. This is essentially just to deal with graveyard decks. Another Ashiok Nightmare Weaver and another Dream Eater for control, essentially. So with that said, let's hop on in to some actual best of 3. Now, just because I said I'm going to play best of 3 doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to have all of these ones be best of 3. Because I am relatively worried that I'm just going to get completely stomped. But, it'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, this seems fine. Got that early removal. We've got the early removal. And as I've always said, bolt the bird. Nature will rise against you. Here, I think I'm just gonna Discovery here. Hunted Nightmare, and I'm liking the idea of Hunted Nightmare next turn. I don't currently need green, but I think I will accept this. Do they play a creature? I mean, I assume they do. Anyway. So yeah, yep, they did. Last episode was the demon one, and I did forget to directly call out some of the demons, which, unfortunate, but I put it in the description. Do we still just do this here? Sure. I hope that they don't have a fight card, because that would be what I like to call unfortunate. I did more damage. Just gonna play this. And next turn I can Ashiok bounce something if I'd like. This is a nightmare. I will say, I really like the nightmares from Ikoria, because it made them feel a little bit more, oh, this elves. It's elves. It's Gruul elves. I go to actual ranked mode, and I get to see, like, a cool, interesting deck. I'm just gonna bounce this, I think, right? Pay 2 life for it, but...
I wonder if you're brave enough.
I want my Fiend Artisan to die as well.
Overcome your fears.
I'll put you into the Shadow Realm. Yeah, I'm good. Not exactly what I wanted to see. Oh, that's an instant, baby. I'm actually just going to cast this. Yeah, I'm just going to cast this. I want to make sure my Ashiok survives here. But what's really nice is that my opponent is kind of just like at 6 because of my Hunted Nightmare. I think they took 2 damage from this, but they are just at 6. This is unfortunate, though, because... Well, 1, they make this bigger, but 2, they have blockers now. Luckily, I can still just block the Preserver. Ooh, that's a EX. Tyrant Scorn. I mean, Tyrant Scorn is nice to see, I'm not going to lie. Do I want to Discovery or do I want a Dispersal? If I plan on Tyrant Scorning, I guess I might as well Discovery first. For each creature you control. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Discovery. Don't need either of these, although... That would be 2 creatures. Be a 3/3. Nah, screw it. Not terrible. Not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna attack with just the Nightmare. See how they want to block, because I have a Tyrant Scorn and can kill their stuff. Okay, that's very bad. Yes, block with that, you fool! That was the worst block they could have done. That was the actual worst block they could have done. I mean, they have a... Do not get me wrong, they have a ton of mana. If they have not Crater Hoof, the... Wait, is Crater Hoof's in the game now, isn't it? Huh. Whatever. I'm not out of the woods, essentially. 4... We have 7... 3... Okay, never mind. Drag you down below, down to the devil's shore. And it hurts to know that you belong here, yeah. Ooh, it's your fucking nightmare. I will say, I'm not... For what it's worth, this may be a deck that people like actually play. But I've not seen Gruul Elves yet. And I definitely like Gruul Elves. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think it's cool. I don't like that I might lose because I don't have I'm gonna have a flyer. So if I get a land next turn, maybe that'll help. I do have a decent amount of blockers. What are they casting? I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, I do have a question that I would like to answer here from Chief Joseph. Oh, it is Crater Hoof. Alright, I am dead. Oh, he doesn't get haste? He doesn't get trampled, though, so I'm still dead. Me am gonna put the Sat. But me am also going to make sure I get more information. Yeah, okay. I didn't actually get much information. This is I still died. Nature did rise against me. Alright, so Necromancer's not terrible. Plague Mare also actually not terrible in this. Thought Eraser not bad. I don't think they are using Search, so I don't think that matters. Slow, let's see. So essentially I want all of my removal-y stuff. I don't know if I want Hunted Nightmare, considering the amount of creatures that they have access to. Ashiok is probably pretty nice here. I do not know if this is correct, but it's what I'm doing. Anyway, Chichos asked, if they reprint Snow Basics, do you think there will ever be a reason to run normal basic lands? I mean, Snow Basics are just strictly better. That's not true. Snow Basics are absolutely not just strictly better, because they... I'll keep this. Because they have hate directed towards them. There are specific cards that hate on snow permanents. So I don't think that necessarily they would just be better. Additionally, you know, it's not the highest proportion of the population, but people like myself do still want... Excuse me, I think I actually want to play this first. They do still want to have flavor in their lands, right? The reason I chose these basics were because a decent amount of nightmares were given to us in Historic. Or, not in Historic, given to us in Ikoria. So I figured this is a decent reason to choose these lands. Devour can go away. Yeah, this land can also go away. I have a 2/2 now, which is cool, I suppose. Will Zagoth Triumph. I should have mulliganed for removal. Yeah, I should have mulliganed for removal, realistically. They have Questing Beast? That has to be a sideboard card. Ouch. Okay, so I can play Prowler. So now they can only attack with Questing Beast. Yeah. Ouch. Drew a lot of land here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't have any 5-drops that really help me out here. There's really no point in bouncing the Questing Beast.
Close your eyes. Creeping, thieving progeny.
Yeah, we lose. Well, that's a rip. Alright, so I'm actually gonna do a thing that I do in my second channel a lot. I'm gonna pause. Instead of like making you see all of the changes, I'm gonna pause, because it's gonna take me a little while to deliberate on them. I'm gonna make a couple of changes to the deck and then I'll show you what I changed. Okay. I changed it a little bit, took out the Devourer thing because I didn't think it was very good. Added in Zagoth Mamba and just added in a few more mutate cards. Don't know if it'll work out, but that's what I changed. Also, I made it so there are more swans, and we're gonna go into best of them because I am a coward. And as a coward, I do not deserve to play real formats. But back on the topic of snow. Right, if you have cards that care about snow, that care about being produced by snow or whatever, then yes, it would just be better, obviously, to play Snow Basics. However, if you're not playing cards that care about snow, and you are aware of any cards that hurt snow, it's better not to use them. Lurrus. So this is almost certainly going to be Rakdos. We have a Discover Dispersal, so I'm not too terribly upset with this hand. Oh my gosh, is Rakdos Lurrus? What? In play mode? What? Wow. I don't care that we're giving them information. I would like to put Tron here. Man, you know what? I'm just too good at this game. Alright, so that can potentially be very helpful. Wait, never mind. Can't be helpful because they're going to get rid of it. Well, I guess maybe not. I would take a swamp that does not hurt me, please. So they're going to attack me, use Thoughtseize. They'll probably take Maelstrom. No, they'll probably take Elspeth's Nightmare, honestly. Because Pulse... Well, will they? I don't know. Nightmare does more, so they should take Nightmare. Yeah. I can play my opponent's deck for them. I don't even have perfect information on them. Oh wow, Kroxa? Who would have thought? I think it matters that Lurker is a 4/4, but I think it also matters that Dread Presence has abilities on it. I was thinking about getting rid of the Water Grave. That's why we can't have nice things. My opponent is playing one of the better decks in Historic. And yet, Casey Ryback. Oh, hello, Casey. You're using the correct Chandra avatar. Alright, well, I have a hand that has potential. Turn 1, play the Zagoth Mamba. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a Nightmare and a Snake. Look how many eyes it has. I see. Meh. Is this straight up Azorius control? Because that would be sad. Like Omen of the Sea, Azorius control. I feel like it is. It's Azorius Flyers, I guess. Also, damn, I really needed that discovery to resolve. Yeah, it's Azorius Sky. Interesting. I give it to Lander. It's my fault. Well, I can kill that at least. I mean, I say I can kill that. I assume they have protection for it. That's the 6 special. Tabe. $24 land, 61 cards, baby. The 6 special. Yokin. Alright, this person is in bronze. Hopefully, I will play against a normal deck. I gotta look at that. Keep this one. Oh, they're looking too cool. I keep this only because I have 2 or 3 drops, and one of them is mana. The Ozloth. Ooh, okay. Interesting. It's minus counters? Awesome. I wish I drew a land. It's videos like these that I wish I, like, just chose from the best clips, but I can't. I refuse to. You take Leyline Prowler. Oh wait, I have 2. Never mind. You take whatever. Shock makes sense. For what it's worth, I'm not conceding on this one, because I think I actually have a reasonable chance, because my opponent is playing a deck that I assume is going to be on a similar power level. Some people might ask, like, why am I not playing Thoughtseize? You know, why am I not playing any of these cards, ABC? It's because I've been playing those cards in, like, the other recent videos, and I want to try and make these distinct. What did I get rid of? One of the Hemophages? Fair. Wait. Now we can Prowl. You got 4 mana. Killed my Prowler. It's incredibly rude of you. But you are down to 2 cards. I'm gonna play a Prowler again. Are you going to kill it again? You don't. Loaming Shaman. Interesting. Why Loaming Shaman? I'm not gonna lie, I really don't understand Loaming Shaman here. That said, Grip Dancer is going to have... Death Touch Lifelink? Menace Lifelink? Menace Lifelink. Okay, very lucky for me. They do not have much stuff left. But they do have a Castle Lochthwain, unluckily for... Why would you get a forest?
The shadows awaken.
Alright, we're getting there. Main deck Immortal Sun. Really? Gotta mutate on this. Then I shall yeet it upon this. Let's do some over. Let's do that. When my dudes get smaller, that's fine. Yeah, whatever. I'll attack with both. What did I attack with both? I needed that Leyline Prowler. I needed that to cast Brokos. That's oops on my part. Well, if they don't have another creature, I can play Hunted Nightmare. Although, knowing... Why? I thought it was a -1 counter deck. What are they playing? I'm so confused. Okay, so it is a -1 counter deck? Why are you playing main deck Immortal Sun, then? I don't understand in the slightest. That's just rude. I'll play Hunted Nightmare here. Try to get my clock going. Very confused. I'm just confused. I do have Maelstrom Pulse. That would potentially work. Oh! I understand now. Very interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Very, very interesting. There's only 2, right? Yeah, there's only 2. Oh, jeez. All right. My opponent's deck is interesting. I do hate the main deck Immortal Sun that caught my Ashiok. Like, I really needed this Ashiok. Yeah, this is what I like to call very bad. The Festering Mummy is going to die. And they're going to kill my Dread Presence. Oh, right, it's any creature. I think that was a misplay, perhaps, but I don't know. Wait, is this that many? I see. Oh, right. I was like, what is it? Maybe they'll kill themselves with Castle? Why would you not just kill one of your insects? They're very obviously not going to block that. I think I might be... No, I have Brokos. Brokos can gain me a lot of life. It's possible I shouldn't have actually shown off my Dread presence here. Darn. Yeah, I should have... I don't know. I feel like this deck has a lot more potential, and I just did it poorly. I will say, this is the type of deck I should be playing against in play mode. This is cool and interesting and different. I mean, it's horrifying. And thanks to MTG Assistant, I'm gonna try to add my opponent here. I'm just gonna do a sad. Concede. Copy the clipboard. Now, I hope my opponent hasn't been scarred too much. I'm going to try to add them as a friend, because I legitimately am curious about that deck list. Control B. I don't know if they'll respond, but I figure, you know, no harm, no foul and all that. I don't think they're going to accept it. Arena, come on. Be my friend. If I were to change this... Honestly, I probably should have just gone either, like, no mutate or all in on mutate. And here's why. Ikoria, essentially, has the monopoly on nightmares. I checked, and really the only other nightmare that could maybe make sense in this is Otrimi, and that is essentially an Ikoria card that's just from one of the Commander products, so... It's also mutate creature, so... I think what I should do, what I should have done here, is forego things like Leyline Prowler, probably Grim Dancer, maybe, I'm not sure, even maybe Fiend Artisan, and focus a little bit more on having, like, the 2-drop slot be more control stuff. So I mean, we already had Discovery, which is nice. I still keep Ashiok, and I possibly would try and keep Dread Presence, but I would need to free up some slots somewhere in order to include a higher amount of decent mutate creatures, and some control. You know, it's not the best. It's more mutate than nightmare, and I did want to make this deck more nightmare than mutate, but it would require a little bit more work, and I'm very upset that they didn't want to be my friend. Oh well, makes me very sad. Anyway, words are hard. I'd like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Fogwind and Malik, for the continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the show, you'll find links to that in the description below. Do, of course, hope you've enjoyed this video, despite my losing. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff really does help the channel. And, of course, until next time, all will be one.